Gentlemen and ladies, welcome to EcoVid channel, and I am Basant Kumar Sanapati presenting with a very important topic, that is COVID-19 and Indian economy since 2019 onwards till the date. Why I have prepared this topic and brought in front of you all, because there is a reason. I am the man of economics, and I observed that these things should be conveyed to one and all those who are in my country and outside of my country also, because this almost less or more same condition is prevailing in and around the world, in almost all the countries, not only in India. It had spread all over the world, and this pandemic started from Wuhan, China, which has negative impact on the rest of the world. All the stakeholders, all the governments in different countries, all the citizens in our world in different countries, even a beggar also being suffered from this pandemic. So, my topic, you can see here, COVID-19 versus Indian economy since 2019 onwards. So, I have drafted myself some of the important lines as and in effects or impacts on different sectors with or without government role. The main and foremost important thing is this: nowadays in the economy, especially in Indian economy, the demand for goods and services have been decreased gradually since the starting of pandemic in our country. So let us see what are the effectiveness, negative effectiveness, on whom it is realized, and positive effectiveness, on whom they have realized, they have benefited, and what is the role of the government in this meantime to combat this problem and eradicate from our economy for its prosperity and strengthen. Strengthen means financially strengthen. I am talking about most of the people in our country now suffering from financial crisis. So financial crisis is a major crisis in any economy, and this is being generated from unemployment problem in our country. So let us start, my friends, the things which are happening in different sectors in Indian economy. As you know that every country, every nation, every economy has its three sectors in their own. One is private sector. The private sector, sometimes in some of the countries, the primary sector is the industrial sector, but in case of India, the primary sector is the agricultural sector. India is an agrarian country, as you all know, my dear friends. So most of the people depend upon the agricultural activities in different forms, which depends upon the monsoon. And in India, as you know, monsoon is sometimes favorable and sometimes unfavorable in drastic in nature. So primary sector, of course, the employment has been increased because of the migration of the casual laborers, daily laborers, from their workplace far away from their native place, and they have returned back during the lockdown, and continuously they are going and returning because of increase in COVID cases and decrease in COVID cases. It is not stable In a stabilized rate, it is not increasing, so that accordingly, the migration of laborers are being taken place in accordance with the increase and decrease in COVID cases in our country. So when the laborers came back to their native place from their job place or working place, so they have no options other than agricultural activities to give hands with the hands of their family members and to engage themselves in their farming land to produce crops. Of course, the employment opportunities not is ample in all those rural areas in our country. It is limited, but it is disguised in nature also. But they are at least engaged in production activities and trying to produce some of the additional amount of agricultural products in their own area, in their village, on their own land. But in primary sector, it is realized that the production has not been increased in accordance with the increase in labor force. It is stabilized. The GDP contribution from primary sector is not much in comparison with earlier or base years like 2018, 17, and so on. Decrease in production because of natural calamities, mishappenings in rural areas and agricultural sectors. As if you have witnessed about Taute, which has damaged and destroyed the life and property of people from Kerala to Gujarat. The buildings were collapsed. The people, agricultural lands were washed away by water, and still now also waterlogging is observed in some of the areas in that Konkan coastal belt. So it's very miserable to produce or increase the productivity in agricultural land in rural areas. The primary sector is drastically devastated and damaged. If we talk about that yash which has happened, occurred in the coast of West Bengal and Odisha also, especially in district of Bhadrak in Odisha, it is severely damaged and all the crops were washed away along with some cottages and kacha houses in rural areas and village areas like Dhamra, Chandwali, and you can say Basudevpur. So all those places, blocks in that Bhadrak district has been collapsed and washed away with the water, oceanic water. And in similarly in Balasore, Kendrapada, Jagatsinghpur, and almost all the district in Odisha and coastal belts are washed away. So it is very pathetic and it is very difficult to increase the production and productivity of agricultural activities. Then, as you know, the demand has been decreased. We have selected a topic that why demand is declined. Demand, not only demand is declined, supply has been declined also because there is less production in all the sectors, including tertiary sectors. Then how the demand will increase? Because supply creates its own demand. In economics, somebody has said, one economist, that supply creates its own demand. But unfortunately, demand and supply, both the sides has been declined. So what will happen? The demand has declined and supply has declined. That means the people are unable to demand because of lack of purchasing power, and supply has been declined because of natural calamities, pandemic, COVID-19, and government restrictions like lockdown and shutdown. So if the industrial products are produced by the producers, then it cannot be sold because in market the wholesaler outlets and retail outlets are strictly closed. That you know, the government of UP, Honorable Chief Minister Mr. Yogi Adityanath is going to unlock the state except some district from June 1st. It's a very wonderful. and amazing step of the Honorable Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh to enhance the circular flow of goods and services, circular flow of income, I mean to say. The goods are produced, but it is not sold in the market because the outlets, wholesale and retail outlets are closed, locked. Then how long a producer will produce the goods and services until and unless it is not sold in the market? So there is a problem with the producer. They are investing money, but they are not getting any return from the invested amount. So why they shall invest more? They will stop investment and stop production. So now the thing is this: the alternative for the nation or Indian economy is this: by taking all the preventive measures to combat or fight against the COVID-19, we should start to unlock or reopen all the production sector, especially secondary sector, slowly and steadily, and supply the goods as much as you can or as much as we can to increase the GDP and to increase the circular flow of income. So now let us see the secondary sector. Production has drastically decreased, you can say, not dramatically. And because of the when production will decline, the will increase. Unemployment will increase, then the purchasing power of the people will decline because of lack of income. They don't have much money or no money to purchase from market as they desire to purchase and consume because they are unemployed. There is no source of income. And unemployment happened in our nation or economy because of migration without any objective. We are again and again frequently migrating from and to our native place, from the working place. Then tertiary sector is also hampered much. Tertiary sector, the service providing sector, as you know. So all the transportations are not up to the mark in terms of operation because of government restrictions, and government has to restrict because of spread of pandemic COVID-19. So railways, airways, roadways, waterways, all those ways are stopped, and very limited transportation facilities are being provided and facilitated by the government of India for emergency work, for emergency travel, for emergency movement of goods and services to the most affected areas. Nowadays, you can see the oxygen cylinders are being transported from one place to another place. Our Indian Railways, the largest networking railways, one of the largest networking railways in Asia, is very amazing and doing very well and wonderful works to transport oxygen cylinders from one place to another place. So now, who have been suffering miserably? Private school, colleges, universities, coaching centers, and the associated people, I mean to say staff, those who are doing job in all those organizations, institutions established by the private persons, most of them do not have their job since many last months. They have lost their jobs, and those who are in jobs and getting a little bit amount of salary, it is not manageable to feed their family members or purchase as per their desired level. Minimum amenities they cannot purchase. Even they cannot recharge their mobile phone also. Even they cannot recharge their dish TV or any television service provider. Even they have declined the amount of milk. Even they have declined to consume less and less of goods, whatever they desire for their domestic life. They are miserably suffered and have been suffering. The government should take action on priority basis those who have been working in these private schools, colleges, and coaching centers. Students and parents, even in government schools, colleges, and universities, and private schools and colleges and universities, parents have lost their jobs. They are not capable to pay the fees of their works. Builders, constructors, builders, those who are constructing apartments, colonies, they have stopped their works and paying interest of their invested capital borrowed from banks. Even the people those who have taken loan to purchase their dream home also paying loan, but they don't have job. It is applicable for me also because I have taken a loan to purchase a new flat and I am paying EMI, but my income is now not favorable much to pay installment comfortably. Then casual laborers, daily laborers, shopkeepers, average and poor consumers, priests, beggars, slum dwellers, waste pickers, street players, street vendors, etc. Those who always depend upon others' income, they are even not getting 2 meals per a day. I pray to the God must help them to feed their empty stomach every day at least during this pandemic. So, more or less, all producers, consumers, intermediaries, and businessmen in our economy are being suffering since starting of this pandemic. Private passenger transporters like private bus, private car, private autos, they are also not getting that much of passengers by which they can manage drivers, conductors payment, maintenance of vehicle and purchase of diesel or petrol, whatever so they are not in operation, not running their vehicles, passenger vehicles on the road. Disabled and homeless persons, those who are disabled and homeless, they are foodless nowadays. They are not getting food, home, and proper action in their everyday life is a dream right now for them. Now, who benefited more? Of course, the many people in our economy are being benefited up to a largest extent, and all those are hospital owners and related stakeholders, hospital staff, government administrative staff, government service holders, medicine companies and stores, farmers, goods carrier companies, liquor factories, and offshops. So this is very very important now. The government has opened these outlets and factories to produce more and more, which is also must be banned, and it cannot be banned because it is the main source of tax of the and revenue of the government. And in another side, the people those are drunkards in our country also demanding much to open these shops because they have much money to manage themselves by taking all these liquors and contractors for government projects. For government project, those who are doing work as contractor, this work is not stopped since the starting of pandemic. It is going on. For example, construction of roads, dams, bridge, railways, tracks. So all these things are going on, so they are benefited. Then how to increase demand or circular flow of income? This is a very great, very important question before all of us and before the government of India, that how to increase demand. It's only in the hands of the government, because all the mechanisms are entirely failed except government. Only solution is to generate employment opportunities as much as government can do in huge number. And why it should be generated? Not to enhance and increase the purchasing power parity of consumers. I mean to say purchasing power. The purchasing power generates from income. Income generates from employment. Employment generates from investment. And investment generates from income. So it is entirely a process of cycle. In cyclical order, it goes on in every second, every minute, every month, every financial year, and every 5 year plans and 5 years. So financial assistance to all the loss bearer. Financial assistance must be given by the government in any way, in any means, by employing more and more, or by donating, or by direct payment from the government account to the personal account of the people, those who have lost much and suffering much. Unlock different sectors to increase flow of goods and services on priority basis, so that goods can be produced in huge amount and can be released in the market to reach in the hand of consumers. Direct money in the hands of needy ones to increase the purchasing power, even including private teachers, principals in private schools, coordinators in private schools, and even the students, those who are from backward region or poor family, they must be given the money which can help them to survive their life. At least their purchasing power must be increased, and the goods and services which are produced in the economy must be demanded up to the mark, otherwise the economy may go in depression. So thank you very much, my viewers, my friends, my colleagues, my well-wishers. Please, this is a kind request to like this video, share and subscribe, which are priceless. You don't need to pay for all these 3 actions. If this video is touching your heart and brain and it has some values, please like, share, and don't forget to press the bell icon to subscribe this video, because I am going to release another video very shortly on the topic of present issues in the economy, and slowly and steadily I am going to introduce the curriculum of class 11th 12th commerce and humanities students, slowly and steadily, for them, for their success, for their learning, online learning. They can also learn chapter wise with high order thinking skills questions and value based questions, and some of the concepts which are going to be introduced by the Central Board of Secondary Education along with Ministry of HRD. So many changes, drastic changes are going to be made under new education policy 2000. In relation to that, in accordance with that concept, I will present chapters of class 11th and 12th for smooth understanding of the students and for their interest and success in their future endeavor. So my phone number, you can also note down in case of any queries in economics, in any terms, in any means, you can contact with me. My phone number is, please note down, 9546489048. I repeat, 9546489048. 489048. So please like, share and subscribe this video if it is up to the mark. Thank you very much. Namaskar.